Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da.
Yo, what up though, people? Like to welcome you back to the Keep the C Note podcast. As always, I am your boy Brown. Shout out to everybody tuned in. This your first time tuning in, please hit the sub button. Everybody that's tuned in, make sure you hit the like button for us. Hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop new content. And don't be afraid to leave a comment if you agree, disagree, you want to add on to something or correct me for anything. Or if you just want to call me an Uber, let me know in the comments. And please hit the share button. Anybody that likes to talk sports, entertainment, share this link with them so that we can all debate together. Funniest thing I've seen so far this week, the NBA pushing this play-in tournament. Everything is about the play-in tournament. That's all the analysts are talking about. It's a whole movie. I guess they're overselling. They want all the fans to be all in on the play-in tournament. A guy like me, I still disagree with it. It should be no such thing. That's stupid. If it's 8 playoff teams make it, then it should be the best 8 playoff teams, not 7 through 10 got to play. That's idiotic to me. But, you know, that's the funniest thing I've seen so far this week. How do you guys feel about the play-in tournament in the NBA? Do you like the idea? You don't like it? Keep it a C note. Let me know. Dallas Mavericks eliminated officially from playoff contention. No playoffs this year for Luka Doncic. They traded for Kyrie. They couldn't even make the play-in game. Well, not they couldn't make the play-in game. Jason Kidd says Mark Cuban and the GM basically pulled the plug on the season. They'd rather get a top draft pick, I guess, than to try to compete. The rumor is that Cuban and the GM felt as though they had to do too much just to get into the play-in game, and they didn't feel as though their roster had the talent to make a run, so they pulled the plug on it. How do you feel about Mark Cuban and the GM of the Dallas Mavericks pulling the plug and tanking for the rest of the season? Dallas Mavericks fans, where you at? Mark Cuban did say their top priority this offseason is re-signing Kyrie Irving. Let's not forget, just one offseason ago, going into the offseason, he said Jalen Brunson was his top priority, bringing him back. Jalen Brunson ended up with the Knicks, and now we got the same thing going on. I don't know. In my opinion, the way these NBA players get hurt and all that, Luka's in his prime, definitely top 10 player in the league. Kyrie, arguably top 10, top 5 in the league, right? I don't care what kind of team you got. When you got those two guys, it could click at any time. You could go on a run. So for y'all to throw the season away is a disgrace. And again, the way these players get hurt, you're just pushing Luka back another year where he doesn't get to compete. Now, what if he come out next year and blow his knee or something? Now that's another setback. There's talks that Luka may slide on Dallas in 3 years. I can't really see that happening the way these people are taking these Supermax deals. But the rumors out there, a lot of people saying, like, Cuban did leave it open, like, we're not playing so much money. It is a limit on the money, basically. So I think if somebody comes with the right deal for Kyrie, he's gone. What's your thoughts on it? Will Kyrie Irving be in Dallas next season as a Maverick? Yes, no, keep it a C note. Zion Williamson will not be ready for the play-in tournament. If they were to advance to the play-in tournament or beyond, then we would get a further update. He's been out 2 months with like a right hamstring injury. But I've seen some interesting numbers on Zion Williamson. In 4 seasons, he's missed 193 games. Yikes. 63% of his games, that's basically is. He's only played 114 games in 4 seasons. They said that's up there with Greg Oden and Markelle Fultz. Yikes. Here's the thing. Some people are saying they're gonna hold Zion back because he looks a little out of shape again. But this is gonna be the continuing movie. What with Zion Williamson? He hoops for a little bit. He gets hurt while he's out rehabbing. He gets overweight. He comes back. He gets hurt. Repeat the process. This is where we're gonna. First of all, anybody that knows. Like, Zion is too much of a heavy person to be doing some of the stuff that he's doing. That's just facts. He cannot go on that way. And then, as you can see from his history, when he sits around rehabbing, he's actually just sitting around snacking, it must be. And this is why he keeps having all these injuries. The Pelicans should be smart. They should get rid of Zion while they have the chance, while there's still dummies out there that will take Zion Williamson. Because right now it's looking like they're ending up with a Greg Oden. I'm just keeping it a C note. Now, don't get me wrong. When Zion plays, he does produce. But there's no need to have a guy on your team where he's only going to play half the season every year. Just keeping it a C note. Shout out to the Sixers. They wrapped up the number 3 seed. They'll play the Brooklyn Nets in the first round. There's a lot of rumors going around that Tyrese Maxey of the Sixers is in line for a super max deal. Pardon me. Keep it a C note. Is Tyrese Maxey worth a super max deal? Yes, no, maybe so. Let me know. Listen, I love Tyrese Maxey. He definitely get busy. He bring energy to the team. But Tyrese Maxey is not a supermax guy. Don't kill me, Sixers fans. What I'm saying, Tyrese Maxey is not worth 40, 50 mil. Now, if you got it just to give out, then cool. Because that's what's going on these days. These clubs are just giving the guys the money just because they're in line for it, and we got it. And listen, Tyrese Maxey, if you lose Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey is not a guy that is going to get you to the championship, is going to have you a top seed or any of that. So to me, if you're not one of them guys that's always going to have me in contention, you're not worth 40, 50 mil. I'm just keeping it a C note. But if you're doing it on the strength because everybody else is getting it and he's in line to get it, I understand. But as far as winning, that will not help anything. I'm just keeping it a C note. But what's your thoughts on it? The rumor. Tyrese Maxey in line for a supermax contract. Would you give Tyrese Maxey a supermax contract? Yes, no. Keep it a C note. Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets because a lot of people thought it was over for them when they traded Kyrie and they traded KD and they still fought to a number 6 seed. Also, shout out to Mikal Bridges. This boy went from averaging 17.2 points in Phoenix to 27.2. And this is why I say playing on them loaded teams are no good. This man is up to 10 points more. He's getting to the free throw line more. He's getting busy. He's being a leader. Shout out to Cam Johnson, too. He's starting for Brooklyn. He was in that trade for KD. He's been getting busy. But when you got a guy like Devin Booker taking 20-something shots a game, Chris Paul getting his, then you got DeAndre Ayton, you can't really see what a guy like Mikal Bridges can do. That's why I say if the playing field was even, if it was no 2, 3 superstars on these teams and everybody was just one superstar like it was back in the day, it'd be a lot of different guys winning chips, and all NBA teams would be a lot different. A lot different. I'm just keeping it a C note, but shout out to Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. They've been getting busy since the trade. You know, to me, let's talk MVP real quick. Season is just about a wrap. I've been saying Tatum all year, but I'm going to switch horses at the last minute. Joel Embiid definitely is the MVP this year. And if that man gets robbed this year, it's a disgrace. I'm keeping it a C note. And I think this year is one of them years that we don't need to see some of them guys that we're used to seeing on all NBA teams. Like Kevin Durant shouldn't be on none of them all NBA teams. I don't care how much he should not be on none of them all NBA teams. Dudes like Kyrie. I wouldn't even put Dame on none of them lists. Like, you got to give a lot of these young guys have to get on the all NBA team this year. Dudes like either De'Aaron Fox or Sabonis, one of them guys from Sacramento got to go on there. Donovan Mitchell definitely is all NBA this year. You got a couple guys, Markin probably most improved. But I'm saying we got to start pushing some of these guys out. And I know Devin Booker's had up and down joint, but I don't know. I don't even know about him. I'm just keeping it a C note. A lot of these new guys have to go in there. Pause. Billboard and Vibe, they collabed for a top 50 greatest rappers of all time list. And you know, whenever Billboard does anything, you know it's going to be all over the place. But now they brung Vibe into the mix. I guess they tried to give it a balance, but we've always preferred the Source and Double XL anyway. I'm just keeping it a C note. Part of their criteria was cultural impact, body of work, longevity, and flow. Their top five was Eminem, 4 was Pac, 3 was Nas, 2 was Kendrick, 1 was Jay-Z. Jim Jones been trending on social media. Shout out Pusha T. Pusha T was ranked number 29 on that top 50 list. Jim Jones is trending because he says Pusha T is not a top 50 rapper of all time. Keep it a C note. Do you agree with him? Disagree? Let me know. I love Pusha T. Pusha T is one of my favorite artists, but he's definitely not top 50. And he's definitely not in the top 30, not no 29. Notable mistakes that I've seen, one of them was that they had him at 29, but you got a guy like Jadakiss at 46. That's just totally off. I'm keeping it a C note. Dr. Dre, greatest producer of all time, at least many will say that. He's done a lot of iconic things. I've even mentioned him reinventing himself and all of that. He's got great albums and all that, but he's not a writer, so he should not be on the top 50 greatest rappers of all time list. I'm just keeping it a C note. And it's not like he don't write here or like he don't write none of his stuff. So there's no need for him to be on the top 50 greatest rappers of all time list. That's just my opinion. Gucci Mane at number 38. Again, that's over Jadakiss and people like that. Now listen, I know Gucci Mane is huge down south. Pause. I know he's broken a lot of artists and all that. But come on, man. Gucci Mane is not no damn 38. He is not better than Jadakiss. Y'all got to knock it off. What we fail to realize is Gucci Mane came in through that Atlanta wave, through that down south wave when everybody was selling records. So a lot of people was gonna elevate him, and he did the cultural impact with the trap music and all of that. But he's not better than guys like Jadakiss. Knock it off, would you? Little Kim at 31. is another one. She didn't write her rhymes. I mean, she didn't write at least 70% of her rhymes. There's no way you putting her at 31 over people like Jada Kiss. Yes, she had an impact and she did a lot for the culture, but most of that was Biggie and dudes like Dutchie. Like, come on, man. Knock it off, would you? Andre 3000 ranked at 12. He ranked one over Rakim. Rakim was 13. And again, I love Andre 3 Stacks. He get busy. We're not going to act like 3 Stacks don't get busy. And he's unique. Outkast did a lot for down south. He's bodied a lot of records. But come on, man. Andre 3 Stacks is not top 15. He's not top 20. And he's definitely not better than Rakim. Like, knock it off, would you? And I'm saying that respectfully. Again, he's creative. He's got bars. He can do a lot musically and all of that. But we're just talking about rappers. He's not, come on, man. He's not no 12. Y'all got to be kidding me. One of the most disrespectful things, right? Kool G Rap did not make the top 50 list. This Billboard vibe bullcrap list, right? I don't understand how. He had flow. Cultural impact. Let's look at it like this. Kool G Rap is the first one talking that mafioso stuff. Kool G Rap basically birthed Nas Escobar. Basically was trying to get him on, right? He birthed Frank White. He birthed the Commission. He birthed Raekwon and all them talking that mafioso talk. That's all Kool G Rap. That's cultural impact. He definitely had the flow. Come on, man. Kool G Rap is top 50 all-time greatest rappers. Like, y'all got to knock it off. I'm going to go a step further. Kool G Rap is top 10. Like, come on, man. A lot of them New York guys from the 90s, the mid-90s and all that, they were all Kool G Rap sons. I'm not saying they all sounded like him, but some way or another they took from him. Whether the stories, the mafioso image, all of that, man. Shout out Kool G Rap. I love Kendrick Lamar too, but listen, Kendrick Lamar is not a top 3 rapper all time. You got to knock it off. Kendrick Lamar is not even better than J. Cole, in my opinion. But to have him as number 2 already, like, come on, knock it off, would you? Please knock it off. Like, what are y'all doing with these lists? Y'all got to be kidding me. Before we end the show, they say everything in the dark shall come to the light. And you know, Troy Ave is still going back and forth with everybody, now included into the mix. You know, it already was Maino, but now we got China Mac in the mix, and everybody's going back and forth. But you know, Troy Ave recently gave his accounts on the events that happened that night at the Irving Plaza. Take a listen.
You hear what's popping, and Banger like, nigga, what's popping? Banger turns around, looks at me, and Banger says, yo, I'ma rock him. I wink at Banger, do your thing. You feel me? So when Banger's head is turned looking at me, I look over, I see this nigga pulling. He went from what's popping, reaching, and now he pulling. I'm not trying to let my man get shot with his head turned. So nigga, I reach over him immediately, there's no words talk, and I go and tag Stone's face with a right. Hit him with the right, reach for the gun with the left. That's when everybody start pushing, and I get pushed over to the left side.
Now, I find this interesting because recently, Maino said that Troy Ave and them was the aggressors. So let's just use common sense, right? You're in a spot, you're a tag Stone. You do all this to sneak a ratchet in, right? So that as soon as you see Troy Ave and them, you can say what's popping and flash on them. Does that even make sense? Like, that's not common sense, right? Then he says as he's reaching for the gun, Troy Ave says he punches Tag Stone and grabs for the gun with the left hand. Well, anybody from the streets know that one rule when you got a gun pulled on you and you're going to reach or do anything to disarm this person is you don't miss. You don't miss. You sucker punched that man and you didn't knock him out. Whether you hit him and somehow or another the gun didn't fall, shots fell off. Like, that's on you. If you going for the gusto on this man that has a gun, you can't miss. So not only did you sucker punch him and get shot, but you got your man killed. So I kind of believe Maino a little bit more. And at the end of the day, like, I see a lot of stuff with Whack 100 and all that. And, you know, Whack 100 is going to do what he's going to do because it's content and he wants them views. But right now, he's just saying anything. He's going with anything. You cannot agree with a rat. Troy Ave is a rat. He's playing with everyone's intelligence right now. He knows we're in a world right now where people don't have a high IQ. So let's look at what he's done. He's took the stand, been telling y'all for years he was going to tell. He started a podcast. He's releasing all these songs. He's just getting his money up because he know eventually everybody's going to figure out he's a rat. I mean, he got the loyal people that are going to stand by, like the dudes that be in our comments, and they're going to fight for him. But he learned from what 6ix9ine did, and 6ix9ine didn't have that same success of music when he first ratted. So now he's like, all right, I'm going to drop my podcast. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make all the money off everything. He's trying to burn it out real quick. A blind man can see that. Like, y'all got to be smarter than that. Troy Ave has turned this whole thing into a movie. And my thing is this. I know it's other guys that snitch. But did anybody else say Taxstone start saying what's popping and pulled the gun from his waistband, or was it just Troy Ave? This is the stuff we need to know, Trife Gangster. Who else took that stand and said, yeah, Taxstone said what's popping and tried to pull a gun? If it was all like that, Taxstone was better off just waiting for them outside. He knew they were going to be there. Like common sense tell you, a guy don't go do all this to sneak into a venue with a pistol just to tip. If I'm going to tip on you, I could have caught y'all coming out the car. People don't use common sense, though. And Troy Ave is, the mockery is he's telling people that he's won. I won and they lost. What did you win? You weren't on trial for a body. The only thing that he won was 4 years off of that pistol sentence. Use y'all brains, y'all. Stop letting that boy manipulate y'all. And y'all clicking on his links and y'all listening to his diss songs because he's trying to make as much money as he can before the masses really find out what's going on. I'm just trying to keep the C-note with y'all. Question of the day before we get out of here. Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark is her name. Right now, if you had to pick one to start a WNBA team, who you taking? Number one pick. Let me know. And I know a lot of people feel some type of way about a lot of the stuff that was going on with Angel Reese and Jill Biden wanting to invite Iowa. But let's keep it a C-note. Especially for the fellas. That game was the most watched game for females ever. Most of them was there for Caitlin Clark. Like, we're not going to do that. Shout out to Angel Reese and all that, but we're not going to do that. She was the reason why people was tuned in. I'm keeping it a C-note, but that's who I would take. I would take Caitlin Clark. But keep it a C-note. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, you had to take one to start a WNBA team. Who you taking? I'm about to wrap this episode up, but I definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, if this your first time tuning in, please hit the sub button. Everybody that's tuned in, please hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell so you can stay notified when we drop new content. Don't be afraid to leave a comment if you agree, disagree, you want to add on to what I said, or if you want to correct me on something, or if you just want to call me an Uber. Let me know in the comments, but keep it a C-note. And please hit the share button. Share this with somebody that likes to talk sports. entertainment, and what's going on in our world so that we can all debate these topics together. As always, I am your boy Brown. Please tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to tell everybody. Keep it a C note. I'll holla at y'all.
Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da.